Hey guys, it's Wednesday, 8:12 p.m. on September 12th, 2018, and I have been waiting on the edge of my chair for bulletin number, let's see, what is this bulletin number? I think this is bulletin number 54 to finally come out. Yeah, bulletin number 54 to come out at the 8 o'clock hour, and I plotted it on Google Earth and I almost started screaming, and here's why. Our last location at 5 o'clock tonight was right here at this pin. And based on the trajectory of the way the storm has been tracing, it looked as if it should be coming close to buoy number 41002. But I'll be darned, you guys, look what the stupid thing did. It's as if it's somebody trying to run for a touchdown around a whole bunch of defensive guys outside of the end zone of a football game. It did a hard right up to the north. Unfreaking believable. So in other words, this storm yet again has dodged another buoy. Instead of actually coming close to the trajectory with the trajectory towards this buoy, it has dodged it. Now, it doesn't mean we can't do any measurements. I'm going to do measurements anyway. But here's the problem. I thought that this buoy was going to be within closer than 100 and, I thought it was going to be probably closer to here is where I figured that the trajectory was for this thing, which would put us within 60 miles, which would have been awesome because that would have been right in the winds of the hurricane strength winds. But no. Unfortunately, this is a buoy dodging hurricane. So we are only within 113 miles of the hurricane. Now, that actually isn't so bad because if you look at the shape of the hurricane based on the 5 o'clock update, the hurricane force winds extend outward 70 miles from the center, and the tropical storm force winds, which remember are from 39 miles an hour to 73 miles an hour, now extend outward up to 195 miles. So no matter what, this buoy should have been well beaten by wind speeds that were in excess of 39 miles an hour or 36 knots, okay? But unfortunately, that is not what we're going to see. We're going to look down at 41002 at the data from the last couple of hours, and you're going to see the wind speeds are no higher than 31 knots. They are not in the range of tropical storm force winds. They haven't been in the range of tropical storm force winds. They haven't even gotten anywhere close to that, let alone hurricane force strength winds. And I just wanted to document that for you. So here we are at 8:15 p.m. The hurricane bulletins have been posted. This is where the hurricane, the famous buoy-dodging hurricane, has now taken a hard right up to the north. And as of 8 p.m., it is still 112 miles away from the closest buoy, which is just unbelievable. It has been doing this for 24 hours now. And well, over 24 hours. And I just can't help but just shake my head and say, well, that doesn't surprise me, and here's why. I want to show you something here on IntelliCast. This is important because finally we have something on radar within a specific region of where the storm is supposed to be. So I'm going to take you here to Bermuda, which is to the east of the quote-unquote hurricane, and you're going to see that there are broken clouds, but visibility is 6 miles and the wind speed is 10 miles per hour. Now we do have radar here and you can see there are some broken clouds. Now let's back up. I do not engage the satellite image because that is a cartoon that is superimposed over the image. But I do engage radar because it is a composite image that comes from several different sources that are all constantly feeding into this. And this is what we get on radar. Now, this is a composite image that comes from all sorts of land, air resources like airports and, different things like that. This is a real image. Now, what I want you to look at carefully here is how this blip on the radar looks like it might be a semicircle curvature thing, but it's not really the full shape of a storm. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Let's go up to Pennsylvania here, where you're going to see a storm that has been tracking through up into New York. This is a fully formed storm cell. It is this is an existing storm cell. As it traverses over into New York, it is raining, and it changes its shape slightly, but it is a full formed cell. Okay, it's going to have to dissipate as it goes out, but it's not creating itself. Whereas in every single one of these hurricanes, you guys, these quote unquote hurricanes, it's right about the time it gets to 300 or 400 miles off the shore of wherever it's going to hit that we end up with these blips. And I'm so glad that I can catch this for you. And I'm going to say, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep tracking this because I think this is going to turn into our hurricane. And though everybody's going to say, yeah, but in truth, by grace, the radar doesn't go out that far. And I say, baloney, guys. If we land airplanes in Bermuda, we should see the fully formed cyclone here if that's what this is. But there isn't a cyclone here. But what we do see is just as fascinating and just as troublesome. We do see some sort of cloud formation or cloud generation or cloud manufacturing process, whether it's by God's hand or man's hand. I don't know what's happening in this area. All we can go off of is the real live data of what is actually physically there as based on instrumentation that registers this composite image from airplane landing equipment from, all over the East Coast. We have thousands of radar, Doppler data feeds that are generating this image. This cannot be manipulated, okay? The NASA satellite only comes from one source, and that's spacemen in outer space. They can do whatever they want to with that cartoon image, but this is what is actually there. And I want you to notice it is not in a cyclone shape. It is an amorphous storm that is pretty much popping out of nowhere as if there's a bunch of people in the water squirting squirt guns up at the sky. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's not a fully formed storm. And the fact that this stupid thing is literally dodging buoys, honestly, I could just scream. But okay, so that's my update now for 8 o'clock on September 12th, 2018. And this thing's gonna eventually have to come across some buoys. And as this gets closer to shore, this is going to have to show up on radar. If there's actually a hurricane here, you guys, it's going to show up on radar. So we're going to see reality. It's going to register eventually. Let's just keep our eyes on it.